How do you create a sequel to one of the most profitable Marvel movies to ever release? One of the biggest cultural celebrations of Black history. How do you create a sequel to that when your lead character has unfortunately passed? What kind of a story do you tell when you don't have the wonderful work of Chadwick Boseman anymore? It is unfortunate that we will never get to see the rendition of Black Panther 2 that featured him as the main character, especially with the movie grossing over $1.3 billion. But there had to be a sequel, right? It's Marvel. They needed more movies. How do you make a movie that's a sequel to the original while also respecting the life and lineage of Chadwick Boseman? It's simple. You create a movie about grief. The entire beginning of this movie is dedicated to T'Challa's death. The king had died due to a mysterious heart virus, and because there was no more heart-shaped herb after Killmonger burned them all, T'Challa passed. Shuri did everything she could have in order to try and save her brother, but all of her efforts were futile, and this left her feeling the weight and responsibility of her brother's death. She believed that it was her fault that Wakanda was left without any sort of protector. So Shuri threw herself into her work. She had always been one to buck traditions and to sort of go against what was done in Wakanda. And this was very much put on display when it came to how she grieved. She decided instead of doing any of these ceremonial things, she would just work. And this, of course, didn't sit well with Shuri's mother, Queen Ramonda, the Queen of Wakanda. And so she tries to bring Shuri out to where she was able to gain a little bit of peace. And she burns her mourning clothes as a sort of ceremonial goodbye to T'Challa. But Shuri doesn't feel this way at all.
If I sit and think about my brother for too long, it won't be these clothes I'll burn. It'll be the world. Everyone in it.
Shuri is angry, rightfully so. Anybody would be angry. She isn't ready to let go and give up on the memory of her brother, is how she sees it. And it doesn't help that a man named Namor comes and interrupts them and explains to her that there are people now who can track and find vibranium. So of course, instead of following her mother's words, Shuri decides to go with Okoye and speak with Everett Ross, who happens to have a little bit of information on the girl who made the device to track the vibranium. She happens to be a teenager at college. She's no more than about 19 years old, and her name is Riri Williams. She is a super genius who was able to make a vibranium detecting device out of scraps. And well, Shuri decides to come and try and take her to Wakanda in order to gain this information. And the recruitment effort goes extremely poorly. As a matter of fact, Namor and his people end up attacking the surface and try to kidnap Riri in order to take her and keep her hostage so that their vibranium cannot be found. And unfortunately, Okoye fails to protect Shuri and Riri, and so they both end up going to... Technically, Shuri is being kidnapped, but she goes willingly, and she decides to sit in and listen to Namor and try to understand the people and his culture. Despite being kidnapped by Namor, she finds that the people that live underwater, his people, are a beautiful, almost ancient Mayan type culture, and she sort of gets to see the other side of what will eventually become a serious conflict, because when Nakia comes to rescue Shuri, she ends up shooting and killing one of Namor's citizens, and this would spark war between Namor, his people, and the Wakandans. It's this one simple act that causes the conflict of this movie. And while Namor and his people retaliate in an extreme way, he comes to Wakanda and intends to drown everyone. He starts bombarding them with water bombs, essentially trying to flood them and take away their advantage on land and use his advantage in underwater fighting. Namor even gets to the point of attacking Queen Ramonda and literally blows her up, causing her and Riri Williams, who the Wakandans were keeping, to drown underwater. While Riri Williams lived, Queen Ramonda was not able to. For the second time in the span of what is about a year, Shuri has not only lost her brother, but has also lost her mother. And now Shuri isn't sad, she is angry. So angry that she thrives and strives to bring back the heart-shaped herb in an attempt to bring the Black Panther back, to herself become the Black Panther, to give Wakanda a protector. At least that's what she says. But deep down, she couldn't care less about bringing back a protector. What she truly wants is to get revenge for the death of her mother and to grieve as an outlet for the death of her brother. And so she undertakes the ritual of becoming the Black Panther after successfully synthesizing the heart-shaped herb. But when she wakes up in the spirit world, she doesn't seem to find her mother or her brother T'Challa. Instead, she finds Killmonger. And she doesn't seem to be in the spirit realm. Much like when Killmonger took the heart-shaped herb, she can only see the realm from the outside looking in. You can see it in the background, but her hatred and her anger is keeping her locked inside of the room that caused her the most trauma, just like with Killmonger.
He let the man who murdered your father live. And here you stand. Are you gonna be noble like your brother? Or take care of business? Like me.
Shuri was motivated by one thing and one thing alone, and that was wanting revenge on Namor. So she shows up to where the rest of the Wakandans are hiding out after having their homeland attacked, showing that she is the newest Black Panther, and basically demanding that every single Wakandan stand with her and fight a war they know they can't win. And well, it goes about as well as you can imagine. Both sides go on to war with each other, but they both lose forces equally. They are somewhat even matched, but for the most part, everyone is dying for a war that could have been easily preventable. But Shuri is too bloodlusted by her own rage and her own anger to realize what she has put her people into. Instead, she charges headlong into this war. She even abandons her own people so that she and Namor can go have a fight, mano a mano. A very brutal fight in which I think Marvel had some of its better cinematography it's had since the Infinity Saga has ended, mind you. And this fight was visceral. Shuri was angry. She was more than willing to take significant damage to herself if it meant killing Namor. She cared little for her people or little for whatever else was going on. She wanted to take Killmonger's words to heart and handle business.
Noble like your brother? Or take care of business? Like me.
I'm not my brother. Namor will beg me for mercy as I stand and watch as he dies.
Shuri literally pulls herself off of Namor's spear, causing herself even more damage just for the chance at killing him. She was willing to do all of this because she was driven by rage and by anger, by fear. She never gave herself time to grieve. She just jumped from one problem to the next. And in this moment, I believe Shuri has a sort of realization. It's as though her mother's spirit is reaching out to talk to her. When we see her mother, Queen Ramonda, again, Shuri doesn't see her looking from the outside in. She sees her standing in the spirit world. She is right there with her, as Ramonda implores Shuri to let Namor live. And so that's what she does. Shuri decides to choose peace over violence. This movie isn't just about grieving. It's about learning to move on with your grief. And it's about learning to finally be able to put it in its place. Because at the end of this movie, Shuri was finally able to move on and be provided a bit of closure. And I believe that's what a lot of the people who worked on this movie wanted to give us as viewers as well. A bit of closure. So I just want to take a second to thank all of you for watching. As usual, I am really loving this journey of creating content and getting to watch movies I enjoy. And I figured this month, I wanted to tackle Black Panther because it's Black History Month, something that's important to me, and these are characters that I love. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, comment down below whoever or whatever is your favorite Black superhero. And if you're still watching this long, if you could give me a sub, or if you want to go join my Patreon to see these videos unedited and see my full vision for what I want this video to be, you are more than welcome to do that. It's just there to support me. If not, I completely understand. And thank you all for watching. See you guys next time.